of us a unique opportunity to embark on a new journey of hope. This is our commitment to rescue the nation. Our vision. Our vision, as revealed in ARREST, ARREST, meaning agriculture, roads, rule of law, education, sanitation, and tourism. Shall guide the preparation of our new medium-term national development plan. For the welfare of our people, we must harness opportunities in agriculture, roads, and other infrastructure development, improve the rule of law, rethink the education sector, improve sanitation, and unlock the potential of tourism. We believe that creating economic linkages between these development processes and reinforcing them will help reverse the years of economic downturns. The state of the economy. The state of the economy is a cause for concern, with many of our citizens facing perennial unemployment and economic instability. We must not just recognize the pain and frustration that permeate our society, but also work together to introduce and pass legislative creation. So between 2022 and 2023, from 4.8% to 4.1% between 2012 and 2017, due in part to an underperforming economy and existing geopolitical global environment. During the past 6 years, the economy faced challenges in terms of growth, job creation, and poverty reduction. Inflation during the period from 7.6% in 2022. Revenue collection, as reported for 2023, stood at $710.23 million US, while expenditure totaled $796.32 billion, hence a large budget deficit of over $18 million. We intend to change the state of the economy by thinking outside the box. A paradigm shift away from relying on our primary commodity export to focusing on value addition to the private sector as the engine that drives the economy. Under my administration, the empowerment of the Liberian entrepreneurship through more support will help bring back the Made in Liberia quest in inclusive and sustainable growth and jobs. In our quest to expand the economy, we encourage information communication technology, ICT, and the job creation, especially for the youth. To achieve this, my administration will train up to 10,000 young people in various digital skills in the first half of 2024. The Liberian middle class goal must be a reality in the next 6 years. The next net international reversal position reported at the end of December 2023 was $220 million. The report of US 40 million as the GOL's consolidated account balance as of January 19, 2024 is not supported adequately. The balance reported by the CDF as of the same date was $20.5 million, highly encumbered, not $40 million. To this end, we will re-emphasize our earlier commitment to audit and show that regular audits will be a culture across all branches. Regular audits will be a culture across all branches of government, not only the executive. The stock of public debt at the end of December 2023 stood at $2.21 billion, an increase of 8.67% compared to the end of December 2022 stock of $2.08 billion. This represents a sharp increase of $1.33 billion compared to the end of December 2017 stock of $878.17 million, representing 601.8% rise. Our debt burden has clearly grown astronomically. Suddenly, the rescue mission was necessary for Liberia's transformation. As I am speaking, Liberia is under sanction for lack of payment of dues to the African Union and the African Development Bank. Also, the default in the payment of about $650,000 to the European Investment Bank is preventing the disbursement of $13 million for Sanibwe Educator Road. We will reintroduce the fiscal rules and travel ordinance, in addition to our measures to help address waste and abuse and ensure the return of prudent fiscal management. We will ensure that the executive leads by example. Agriculture. Liberia is endowed with abundant natural resources. With over 40% of West Africa's rainforest, our country is home to a diverse array of flora and fauna that should help provide economic and agricultural growth opportunities. Liberia is also a leader in the discussion on climate change mitigation, further emphasizing the importance of international partnership for sustainable agricultural production and development. However, it is important to recognize that our available arable land is underutilized. My government is committed to harnessing the right resources, strengthening collaboration with international partners and local farmers to improve production. Legislative agenda. Our legislative agenda is aimed at working with you in doing the business of the people, for which proposed legislation will be submitted in coming months. We will focus on shaping the outcome for desired by our new development agenda. The following constitute the development agenda. The Presidential Transition Act. The Presidential Transition Act was drafted in 2017 to provide the appropriate and legal framework for seamless transition from one democratically elected president to the other. The draft bill has since been lingering with little or no action to move it to legislation. Given the difficulty in establishing the appropriate framework to guide the recent presidential transition, my government will immediately review the draft bill for submission to the legislature for passage. When passed, the Presidential Transition Act will provide a legal basis for smooth transfer of political power. Bill for the establishment of the Ministry of Local Government. This bill is aimed at advancing modalities to operationalize the Local Government Act passed in 2018 to fast-track the transitioning of the Ministry of Internal Affairs to the new Ministry of Local Government. The Ministry of Local Government will have the authority to drive the government's decentralization program, operationalizing the revenue sharing law. The revenue sharing law needs to be synchronized with existing laws, including the Project Financial Management Act, PFMA, and the current Revenue Code. The revenue sharing law passed in 2022, and these two other instruments were designed for different systems of government. While the new Revenue Sharing Act is designed to facilitate fiscal decentralization in a decentralized system of government, the other two cater to a centralized system where the sub-national bodies do not have any authority to use a portion of locally generated revenue. This has left county service centers that should be functioning and raising revenue, often stranded to raise operational costs. We will work with the relevant institutions of government to align the new law with the existing law, popularize the law, and ensure adherence and enforcement across the country. The passage of the National Tourism Bill. One of the major recommendations that came out of the mandate and functional review of the Ministry of Information, Cultural Affairs, and Tourism was the need to divest culture and tourism from the Ministry of Information. The National Tourism Bill has since been sent to the legislature with a first public hearing. Improving tourism is one of the pillars of the arrest agenda. We will work to the legislature on the status of the bill pending necessary action to complete the process. Once passed, Liberia will have a national tourism authority mandated to draw regulations and appropriate governing framework for tourism sector. Establishment of the Office of Ombudsman. Passage of the Code of Conduct for public officials has not had the full effect of the law. A major hurdle is a lack of implementation infrastructure. To this end, there is a need to re-establish the Office of Ombudsman. When established, this office will supervise and enforce all provisions of the Code of Conduct and will also impose sanctions for infractions. Requisite moral standing to head and run the office. Amendment to the new Financial Institution Act. As part of the CBL financial sector reform in 2023, The bank submitted to the office of the president a new banking law to replace the existing New Financial Act of 1999. The act was submitted to the national legislature for enactment, but is still pending passage. In the coming days, my administration will work with the leadership of the legislature to ensure new banking act is passed into law. Amendment and Restated Payment System Act. An amendment and Restated Payment System Act is currently being reviewed by my administration. The act, when passed into law, will help strengthen the means of mobile payments across platforms and enhance the drive towards cashless society. Liberia Insurance Regulatory Commission Act. The Central Bank of Liberia is working on a draft Liberia Insurance Regulatory Commission Act, which is currently being shared with stakeholders for their input, following which it will be submitted for passage into law. We are also working on a draft bill for the National Health Insurance Scheme for Liberia. This scheme is intended to reduce out-of-pocket costs for citizens and have access to affordable and quality health care. The Paris Agreement, 2015 Paris Agreement. The threat of climate change to our environment and the way of life is becoming obvious by the day, which is why we must join the rest of the world to address the causes of this phenomenon. I call on the legislature to work with us to begin looking at the Paris Agreement, including the carbon market, to ensure our national interest is protected. The list of protocols, conventions, and other instruments will be forwarded to you for consideration and appropriate action. Road infrastructure development. Expanding and improving road network in our country remains a top priority for our administration. While there has been some progress in the road transport sector during the review period, there remain considerable challenges in the road development. Mr. Vice President, Senator, Speaker, the Honorable Legislature, ladies and gentlemen, the total paved road in our national network amount to 1,131.1 kilometers, representing 8.7% of the 13,000 kilometer road network we need. This fact underscores considerable challenges in road infrastructure and the urgent need to fund road development in our country. With associate assistance from friendly partners, the country made notable progress in paving some primary roads, including the corridors, the Banga to Salagi, the Ganta to Sakripi, the Ganta to Yekepa, and the Sanigri to Lugati. In addition, as of now, 37.7% of work on the ELB to RIA road project has been accomplished. To access all county capitals, my government will work to alleviate the problem faced by commuters using these primary roads, especially during the rainy season. The situation also causes major impediments to the economic development of our people, These primary routes are major economic corridors to all parts of the country. The restoration of county road maintenance stations will be a key deliverable. This is why we have commissioned a no-car stop in the mall 100-day deliverable. To make all major primary roads private. Our flagship road delivery program will include the Freeport to the St. Paul Bridge Road. Having received funding through the government of Japan, we'll begin construction of a 4-lane road from the Gabriel Tucker Bridge to the Freeport of Monrovia. Additionally, the government of Japan is expected to provide funds to expand the Gabriel Tucker Bridge to 4 lanes. The government has also secured additional support from Japan for the conduct of feasibility study for the expansion of the Freeport to St. Paul Bridge corridor. My government will allocate funds to complete the 6.5-kilometer Freeport to St. Paul Bridge Road. Mr. Vice President, Mr. Speaker, Madam Pro Tempore, Honorable Legislatures, my government will ensure the funding from the National Road Fund is utilized to maintain and rehabilitate roads for the good of our public. Through the contribution of Liberians who pay their fuel levies from every gallon of gasoline or fuel or they purchase, we will continue to expand the maintenance program in maintaining our existing network and the construction of new community roads. The Honorable Legislatures, I would like you to join me in extending sincere gratitude to our development partners, which include the European Union, the European Investment Bank, the World Bank, the United States Agency for International Development, the UK Aid, the German government, KfW, and GIC. I would like to also thank our Arab partners, including the Saudi Fund, the Kuwaiti Fund, Badia, as well as the Japanese government and Japan, the Swedish government, the Chinese government, and this China Aid program, the Norwegian government, the Indian government, the African Development Bank, FDB, and ECOWAS, for their many contributions to our infrastructure development. Foreign policy. Mr. Vice President, Mr. Speaker, Madam President Pro Tempore, members of the legislature, as a founding member of the most continental and multilateral institution, we will continue to honor our obligations. Liberia continues to foster cordial relationships with other countries in the community of nations and maintains its current membership with multilateral organizations like the United Nations, ECOWAS, Monterey Union, and the African Union. We will continue to pursue a policy of good neighborliness as we remain in peaceful coexistence with our immediate neighbors. Mr. Vice President, Mr. Speaker, Madam Pro Tempore, Honorable Legislatures, as a nation with a proud history of regional leadership, our standing among the Community of Nations is undermined when we fail to meet our obligation as a sovereign state. Therefore, it is imperative to reclaim our standing in the community of nations. My government will work with the legislature to ensure arrears are settled. The civil service. There's an estimated 70,000 employees, including appointed officials in the government of Liberia. These command a total wage bill of $300 million annually. The growth in the size of government has not been proportional to the growth in the revenue, the efficiency and effectiveness of our government. This means that wage continue to consume a sizable portion of the total budget, strangulating service delivery in all initiatives and obligations of the government. So, the government faces the situation of stunted growth and non-investment in the lives of the people. To make the government more effective and efficient, we must focus on public service delivery. The people, not the government, must come first. Health. Health and sanitation remain a major priority of our government. In the health sector, my government will prioritize the following: the availability of needed medical supplies and logistics in all public health institutions throughout the length and breadth of the nation. Regular, efficient, and robust monitoring and evaluation of health services in the country to accelerate the reduction of maternal and newborn mortality. The establishment of regional diagnostic centers, regulation of healthcare and pharmaceutical institutions in the country to meet international standards. Our recent experience in Ebola and COVID-19 requires our full support in treating national public health with utmost importance in Liberia as it relates to emergency preparedness and response. This requires a more coordinated way of building a more resilient health infrastructure to address current health challenges and future health shocks. Honorable legislators, the drug epidemic, especially the use of kush, in our country is an existential threat, eating away the future of our children and the country. We must stand up and face this national security risk together. Given the need for immediate action to make good my pledge to the thousands of families burdened by this crisis, I am hereby declaring drug and substance abuse as a public health emergency. In this direction, I am establishing a multi-sectorial steering committee comprising the following agencies: the Ministry of Health will chair, Ministry of Justice co-chair, Ministry of Youth and Sport member, Ministry of Gender, Children, Social Protection member, Liberia Drug Enforcement Agency member, Ministry of Finance and Development Planning member. In this fight, me and my vice president will be the first to take drug tests Me and my vice president, we tried to take drug test, and I urge all others to follow them. Education. Education remains a beacon of hope. Our educational system has been a downward spiral over the years, leaving countless Liberians we must confront head-on. Education is not a privilege, it is a fundamental right. We cannot turn a blind eye to the fact that a significant portion of our population is struggling with the lack of access to quality education. And there is no other way that we can genuinely seek to successfully fight poverty without the provision of quality education to our people. Starting now, my administration is making a steadfast commitment to revitalize our educational system. We invest in education infrastructure and provide adequate resources. In this, we crave your support. Good governance, honorable legislators, our commitment to good governance is unwavering. Transparency, accountability, rule of law will guide our actions. We will fight corruption and build institutions that serve our people's interests. A government that is accountable to its citizens is a government that can truly serve the needs of its people. Mr. Vice President, President of the Senate, the Speaker, members of the legislature, our justice system is meant to protect the innocent and punish the guilty. Has been marred by inefficiency, corruption, and lack of public trust. I am counting on this honorable body to pass effective legislation and support financial appropriation that will help us to win the fight against corruption. Anyone caught in an act of corruption will feel the full weight of the law with swift and non-discriminatory enforcement. Democratic elections. Mr. Vice President, Mr. Speaker, Madam President Pro Tempore, and honorable legislators, we have had a successive peaceful transfer of power, establishing our credentials in emerging democracy following the Civil War. But while we proudly celebrate this achievement, we are not oblivious to the bottlenecks that regularly attend our elections and mark the electoral process. One of the vexing problems we noted during our past elections is voter registration and the associated logistical problem, which tend to frustrate and anger voters and political parties. My government will strengthen the National Identification Registry to build the needed capacity to be able to capture the comprehensive biometric data needed to feed all agencies, including the National Election Commission. In addition, my government will begin to review and implement the electoral reform laws. The diaspora. Mr. President of the Senate, Mr. Speaker, members of the legislature, our Liberian brothers and sisters of the diaspora are an integral part of this nation. They are the extension of our national pride. They share in our nation's happiness and sadness. They are readily responsive to the needs of family members and friends in times of difficulty. Liberians in the diaspora have a stake in the future of Liberia, and my administration will be intentional about ensuring that their stake in Liberia is fully honest. I have therefore proposed an annual diaspora conference on the national development. I commend the acts of the 54th legislature and the past administration for their action to remove the unfair burden of citizenship against Liberians who have chosen to explore opportunities in other parts of the world. I am glad that the slogan, once Liberian, always Liberian, now have we will establish clear and predictable policies that link where diaspora Liberians can play more meaningful roles in the Liberian future. Equality. The nation lost some of the prominent citizens during the year in review. Special condolences go to the families of the victims of the tanker explosion in Tulsa, Boakai. Among those who have joined our ancestors are former Assistant Minister Mr. Victor Daniel Kweku, 90 years, Ambassador Hannah Abieru Jones, 89 years, Commissioner James Jordan Miguel, Sr., 86 years, Deputy Minister Dr. Edward Imba Goba, 78 years, Senator Daniel Nathan of Bapul County, and former Deputy Speaker Hans Bachu of Gandasa County. We also mourn all those who lost their lives during the just ended legislative presidential election. A fuller list will be published. Mr. Vice President, Mr. Speaker, Madam Pro Tem, and honorable members of the legislature, the state of our nation is in distress, but the hope of our people is alive. We have all it takes to overcome the burdens we have imposed on ourselves through greed and corruption. When we work together, there's nothing we cannot overcome as a people. This is why I ask all of you representatives of our people to join me to do the business of the Liberian people by not doing business as usual. The time for mindset shift is now. We must be selfless in our service to bring about the change the Nigerian people are yearning for. Again, I challenge you to join me to think Liberia, love Liberia, and do I must thank you, and God bless the words of our hands and save the state.
Republic of Liberia, the first State of the Nation address to the joint chamber of the National Legislature, 44 minutes from 4 p.m. to 4:44. Joseph Boakai, President of the Republic of Liberia, has adhered to this constitutional mandate, and inside the speech, of course, is coming up with a lot of good things. But first, Michael, you were taking notes, man. Yeah, so at long last, the first first annual message delivered.
Yes, it's delivered in yes, so many prospects for Nigeria, and well,
Yeah, so for the next 50 minutes, let's talk something. For me, I got one thing that is captivating in the speech is that he has offered he and his vice president to do drug test.
yes, and I'm very, very, I was very excited when I heard that because we, we received messages and all.
And before you come in,
Yeah.
if you say we offer ourselves to do drug test first, why you? If your boss as president is taking
Yes.
drug test, you
Yeah.
as a cabinet member, you better follow.
Everyone follow suit.
Hey.
Yeah. So yeah, then that's how I was confiding in you, and somebody raised this issue, but we will do our investigation.
Yes,
but
there's an appointee who is on drug.
Yes, and
I will say that. You see, it's part of cleaning this country here.
No, it's part of cleaning it, but
But
still
people
doing our investigation.
Record, somebody's
Yeah.
character you got.
Yeah, so somebody raised the issue, and we are still. But another thing that he mentioned, regular audit, which is going to be very essential. Regular audit, it helps minimize corruption, because you know what next coming up. For example, after 3 months or after a quarterly or yearly, audit is done, people will be very careful to be mindful on, what to do. They will not just, they will not just, I'm sorry. Yeah. So they will not just get themselves involved in anything, because you will be audited. It's not doing things and going scot-free. So that's one thing. I was talking about regular audit, and which is very essential.
He called on those who will be appointed. He said, you have to get yourself prepared for not business as usual.
Yeah, this is not
business as usual. You have you got to prepare yourself to call it, to call it quit. Now, I'm not going to preside over a country where business as usual will be the order of the day.
Yeah.
That's another one. Another one is detaching at long last, tourism from the Ministry of Information, Cultural Affairs and Tourism.
Wow.
Yes.
I want to say
yes.
I want to clap for that, because this is one of our one of our recommendations here on the Business and Economic Forum. And the guys were saying, yeah, but if tourism generates a huge, revenue for the country, then why can't we attach some importance to it and make it an agency, or autonomous agency on its own? If that's what is been said in a speech, then
yes, it's in a speech.
Yeah, so that's it.
Tourism will be detached from MICAT. The Japanese have agreed to do an addendum to the Gabriel Tucker Bridge to make it 4-lane, and that is from Freeport to downtown Monrovia, Johnson Street, and then do some feasibility studies on the road from the corridor from Freeport to St. Paul Bridge. There are plans to expand it. That road used to be a super highway before to the Unity Conference Center. It's been encroached upon by structure. Yeah, because I know the reason why we have to leave early from Brewerville and go lately, because if you stay in Brewerville by 7 o'clock, you're going to spend extra hour in the traffic. And it is not that traffic, it is not that vehicles are not moving, right? But the people encroach on the road to sell. To sell their goods and services. So that came out. Of course, we expected that. He had some discussion with the Chinese, not Chinese, but Japanese delegation. I saw the Liberian ambassador to Japan, Blamo Nelson, with the Japanese at the president's house last week on Monday. So we expected that to come up. Too many good things. And yes, he openly stated education.
Yeah. And education remains a bedrock of every society.
He said it's not a privilege, but a right.
It's a right, fundamental rights of every person, every child to have quality education, irrespective of your status, irrespective of your status in society. You should be educated. Yeah. So
but those of you, the first and foremost thing, we are discussing the content of the speech. Those of you who doubted that he wouldn't stand, he stood. Those of you, there is a Facebook post from Carrasco, my nephew Carrasco, that a mini clinic was reportedly established at the Capitol building in the cafeteria, just in case. So Carrasco, wheresoever you are, I know you're catching me. Those of you who are listening, please extend to him his disappointment. What he wished for did not happen. We pray for he and his boss, who always fly from one point to the other. We don't pray evil for our own compatriots. So what you said, that something was created just in case of emergency to rush the president, it did not happen, and you misinformed the public. We expected that. We stuck our head, the Liberian people, that is, stuck our heads to the content of the speech, and the speech is delivered. Then we're going to hold the government now responsible, or to hold their feet to fire. You doing the first annual message, this is what you said. Where are we? How far are we? And I think media practitioners should be able to do that.
Yeah, but on the other side, if we went through the Decent Work Act, of course, every institution should have a place where they provide first aid for employees.
Yeah, first aid, but again, he thought he felt at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, right?
Yeah.
When Madam Sally was there, they had a fortunate clinic inside the building.
I was educating someone outside there just now. I said, no, this is something that should be schools. I said, if you are a parent and you have your children in school, you should be concerned about, because people pay medical bills now. They will not just take you and carry you to the clinic. They need to provide you first aid. So that place, if what you are saying if it is true, it was not intended, for the president. Of course, it would be somebody, would have been, so
that's why he said, a medical emergency room is set up at the Capitol building just in case. Then people commenting on it. In case for what? There's no medical emergency set up at the Capitol, even though it is good to do it.
It's good.
even though it is good to do it. But the reason for which you think it was done, no, that it was never done.
But
and
somebody
you are
lost their
disappointed
life
right now.
on the inauguration, right?
Yeah. Every working place you have a first aid section.
Of course. I was just educating someone about that. So why if you fell sick and you need some first aid, why do you rush you to the hospital? No. Provide you first aid. Need to have a nurse who provides first aid everywhere. Every working it went through the decent work at a cost for it. Even women who are breastfeeding should have a separate area. And it's also at the Ministry of somewhere at the ministry over there. The guy was telling us
Ministry of Health. I mean, Ministry of Labor, right?
Yes, they have a place. They have
a place there for first aid.
They do have a place.
In fact, women should have breastfeeding mothers after their maternity leave.
Yes,
they need a special area where they can breastfeed.
And it was created.
Yeah, it was created. So yes, the annual message. I'm trying to see.
And you also talking about the length of the speech. Yeah. I was very, very surprised that it went to 43, 44 minutes.
44 minutes.
Yes, it tells us that I mean, going back to what happened this Monday was actually responsible. It was due to the same heat that we're all discussing. Yes, but
and the folks now, they might have learned some lesson. They started distributing water inside, even though inside was fully air conditioned as compared to outside. We've had no comparison. Outside there are no air condition. So inside they are fully air conditioned in the joint chamber. And in my opinion, there was no too much test or need for water.
And every time I have the opportunity to get angry, let me put it that way, to get angry, to feel so disappointed about what happened on that inauguration Monday, I do it and I express myself and I have no regret on what I say. People should, we expected a lot. We expected a lot, and the organizers, the protocols, it was very, very poor. And I mean, you can have that kind of heat in that place, and you should know terrain management. I think you have idea on it, right?
Yeah. So, but again, of course, history is made. We have to make some references on it, but I think they try to make some adjustments this afternoon, and accept that the difference between the two, this one is indoor and the other one was outdoor. And indoor the air was conditioned, and outdoor there was absolutely nothing to condition the air. But again, that should be put behind us now.
No, we all made reference.
Yeah, we made reference.
We don't want it to be repeated.
Yeah, we made reference.
Yeah, so don't please.
We made reference. The annual message has been placed on the internet. You can I'm browsing it through Phoenix.
Okay.
Yes, it's now on the internet. Apparently it was on, but embargoed until it is delivered. Now, just a few minutes after delivery, it is now on the internet, and you can now browse it. This is State of the Nation. In the next 5 minutes, let's get public reaction to the president's annual message, 07751-44278. Tomorrow, we'll bring in opposition ruling. We'll look at segments. As a matter of fact, the president addressed his arrest, ARREST, agriculture, rule of law, roads, education, sanitation, and that of tourism. This caller is on the line. Good afternoon to you. Good afternoon to you. Yes, what's your name?
My name is
Aloysius, quickly, leave the pleasantries and just go straight 1 minute because of time.
Thank you. I listened to the president's first State of the Nation address, and like you people said, what we expected, some of our expectations really came true. Like for me, the issue that has to do with education, I think it is a right of each and every citizen of this country to be entitled to education, and I must commend the president and his administration for seeing in that direction, and we look forward to some of these things implementation as a regulator like tourism. I I think Liberia is a blessed country. If you look at our heritage, there are a lot of tourist sites around this country that can be developed. So if we have the tourism ministry set up a side from this particular ministry of information for the tourism,
Okay.
so, you know, good one for this country, and we are looking like under this administration.
All right. Okay.
Thank you. Hello. Hello.
Good afternoon, this is Madeleine.
Yes, sir. Quickly.
I'd like to say good afternoon to
Chief, just go straight ahead now. I beg you.
This is the voice of Boakai George. And let me appreciate the president for the seminar today. And as a administration student, other tools for the background he spoke. And I get to know that Liberia is getting better under his administration. And I believe that when a real leadership takes place, you see example to the leader. You see the leader coming with an example. So the president has laid the hot mark. He has laid the point that every other government official will follow, starting for jobs, starting for college, and the audit that will be done internally and no often.
All right.
I want to say thank you and thank you to everyone.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Thank you. Nukwe. Next caller.
Hello. Good evening, Madeline. Good evening to Bezo.
Yes.
This is Daniel Johnson from Harper Firestone. And Madeline, I'm very excited this evening. The speech was short but impactful. For example, the president talked about National Health Insurance Act. Is welcoming because you know how many women and children are involved into getting sick and no medical attention. I think it is laudable. And the president said he declared the issue of kush as a public emergency.
No, they didn't say kush. They didn't say kush. They said controlled substances. No, when you say kush, then you limit it to only one.
There are various types.
They got cocaine, they got heroin, they got kush, they got marijuana, everything here.
Yeah, because the reason you see kush is widespread because it's the common one as for our children.
Chief.
Thank you, the president.
Okay, thank you. Let me take another caller. Hello. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I'm over happy and rejoicing. Because all of us thinking on negative thing and God was thinking on the positive thing. One thing I got for the president is a trust. Is it trust that he will be here and Barbara will be the first to take the lead. And I know the deal of Jesus at the other is telling me will follow the scene. You want to talk with us, tell me the Barbara will nation and it is of matter that we all know.
I think in my opinion, if my boss man takes an action intended to be, to set some record straight, and I know I fall within the same bracket, not necessarily a drug user, but I need to follow the president's example, so I'll follow to do the test.
You have to do that because he lead all follow. So when we reduce the trust in our code damage in the fabric, I'm over happy.
So it's not about them voluntarily, doing it. It will be like following a very example of their leader. So if the president and the vice president do theirs, obviously everybody will follow suit. Yeah, if I want to do it.
For me, you've dropped it. Yeah, but if you talk about a power and business, it will catch me. Drug, power, and not drug.
Hello. Yeah, T. Patrick.
Thank you. Let me say good afternoon to your many listeners and to people.
Patrick, go ahead straight with a song. Time fast spell about 5 o'clock now.
Thank you very much. Look, I want to say many things to our president, President Boakai. He spoke well, and that is why for some of us have been speaking to our people that Ambassador Boakai going to the same by his word, and some of those things all landed in the campaign message, and today they have been putting into his speech or into the national address. So, Ambassador Boakai wants to say thank you, most especially with this.
Okay, you said a lot. Thank you.
Take two more, then we get some.
Jerome.
Yeah.
Who's Jerome? Calling
for Labor Ministry.
Oh, but Jerome has become Jerome. Quick, let's hear you quickly before we sign off.
Okay, thank you to Madeline, and thank you to Christopher Selly for the opportunity. Let me extend my thanks and appreciation to the President Ambassador Joseph Yuman Boakai for the explicit speech that he just gave regarding the prosperity of this nation. I want to say to my brother Carlos, as one person. We saw what happened here August 8 when campaign was declared. They two captains around here, all around here. At the end of the day, we know what happened to the captain they were doing here. So if you wish evil for another person, be calculating that it may come fast faster. So that hospital you were talking about, or that health center you were talking about, it may not be for the public, but it will be for somebody else that you know, somebody very close to him.
Just keep praying for it. The man keeps flying from one point to the other. Then he wishes somebody's death. Just keep praying for them. That's all you can do for them. Don't step in the same shoe that they're stepping.
Okay. Hello.
Yeah, Marlene.
Yes. Who's speaking?
This is Mr. Lawrence.
Oh, Mr. Larry, you just call me like my father. That's how you can call me. You call my house. Say what the papa say. Yeah, Chief, how you doing?
I'm fine, thank you.
Lawrence, particularly accountability. I know that's where you have your
regular audits.
Not only that, but I know people say, "Oh, the speech is good."
Yeah.
We are waiting to see the follow up to the speech.
Okay.
I'm glad that most of the advocacy that we called for, the advocacy is yielding. The advocacy is yielding impact because we now see that the president is, for example, drug tests. The tone of anti-corruption and greater accountability, starts from the top. So, if the president would do drug tests, this is what we fought for over and over. If the president would do drug tests, then obviously all of the other people will be forced to do drug tests.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah,
that's how I see it myself.
Yeah.
So you are in the same boat.
Yeah, but just finally before I leave, we've done advocacy around separating some ministries that are not making sense. And people think, oh, we don't like them. I'm glad now that tourism is spoken about it. We need to separate the sports bureau from the Ministry of Youth and Sports. That place is a football center, and the football center is not doing nothing with it. So there are a lot of advocacy, and I think the level of accountability issues is raised is huge. And we are looking forward and we're owing to those things. But I think the greater thing about this is that the media, we are going to catalog and come up with a policy prescription or recommendation for him. And that we are not just saying we're holding to the camera, we are showing the way. And I just want to say thanks to him because the government shows a lot of inclusion for what we have seen. And we're looking forward to a better time that accountability will reign, that it won't be business as usual. But thank you guys, it's a good show and we keep following. Thank you
very much. Thank you. Abel will take you 1 minute because you are invited here tomorrow to come and form part of the panel.
Yeah, come tomorrow.
The panel of discussion. So just 1 minute.
Thank you. One thing we want to re-emphasize is that we have told the public that he left 40 million. The president just disproved that the president lied. The outgoing president, the former president, did not say the truth. He
misled the public. He misled the public, Abel.
But he did not say the truth. You can tell me.
No, Chief, no, but there are some words that are unpalatable for radio. You're not radio personality, man. Mama, go sleep, man. What's your problem?
They make him here tomorrow.
Yeah, okay. That's why I asked you the last time whether you say whether you can call Musa Bede to tell you his wrongdoing. I asked you one question, you never answer it. The question is, when you were there in Banga, Madam President broke ground for Lofa Road in the absence of the Vice President, now President, did you go tell her, say, Madam President, what you did is wrong?
Yes, I did my work now.
What kind of way you did? What kind of way you did? Did you place in the story that the president earned to have my man, listen, but you wait now. Tomorrow, see you come here tomorrow.
Yeah.
We get to calls anymore. Yeah, we get to calls anymore. You take the last one.
Yeah. Hello. Yeah, Simeon.
Please hurry up, Chief. We in people's time.
Yeah, so I just want to appreciate our president for his brilliant speech. spoke well to my expectation. Most especially for us, they talk about the health sector.
Okay.
And some of us, for me, have taken serious panic of problem since 3 whole years. And there's no equipment.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
All right. So we see tomorrow.
We'll talk later. Let's talk through
tomorrow we'll have panel of
Yeah.
experts to discuss the speech, whether expert or not. Let me make a public service announcement. We already got Abel Plaki. Obviously, you know, once you hear Abel Plaki is for Unity Party. Can we have any member of the CDC tomorrow to take on, to sit and look at this speech? The CDC, the Liberty Party, the ANC, anyone who wants to participate tomorrow, just inbox me. Inbox me, then I will include you. Tomorrow we want to look at the entire speech through the arrest platform. That's ARREST. That is on tomorrow. Abel already consented for the Unity Party. Who's coming in for the CDC? Who's coming in for the Liberty Party? Who's coming in for the CPP or ANC?
So,
or any other political party?
I mean, just announce the time that you just.
Yeah, so it's 3 to 5, 2 hours.
Yeah,
non-stop.
3 to 5, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so thanks to the chair on executive, Representative Emmanuel Dunn, and the co-chair, Samuel Ennis. Yes, Samuel Ennis, and the rest of the team for a splendid program. It was actually wonderful, the setup and everything. They cools it, chambers, and it was so wonderful. And had the president, exceeding that time, even though others are saying that the time was short. Okay. Yes, it's good enough, and it was delivered what we wanted to hear. We heard it, and we know that we'll continue. We'll discuss it for the next maybe 1 or 2 weeks.
And those of you
analysis on every line and every promise and every stuff. Yeah.
And those of you, finally, like we told the CDC chairing squad inside the chamber, we want to remind you again what some of you people did today. Every sentence was a clapping. You distorted the recording in some points, and you will have to stop. That place is message delivering point. It is not cheering squad, whosoever. And that goes to you people who were just clapping. Even when the president made one statement or one sentence, you want clap. Sometimes you're even tired of clap, but you still want to clap.
You gotta do it. And we will always make reference to
we made reference.
The last time.
Yes, and we told them the same thing.
Yeah, you raised the issue, and man.
See you tomorrow, man. See you tomorrow. Mother will host the panelists tomorrow.
Don't trap you. I think he excuse that tomorrow, please.
What a problem? See you, man.
Let freedom ring.
Well, I will postpone that only there.
What do you?
When we allow freedom ring,